Niantic released a brand new feature this week in Pokemon Go, and in classic Niantic fashion, they released it completely broken and they had to disable it. I really do think this was a critical error, and it does speak volumes to some of the concerns that players have regarding the new level cap that's going to be released tomorrow, and I really did want to talk about this. So that's what this video is going to be all about. Let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video, and I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So, Niantic released weekly challenges this week, and it was supposed to be something that was meant to be really exciting for Pokemon Go players, specifically those who want to play with their friends, and to a degree, I did think it was something that would have been really good. However, it was released completely broken. For some players, they were seeing that if they were to complete the weekly challenges, their game would freeze up and they would not be able to play the game. Even if they were to turn off the game and go back into the game would still be broken. It was basically a huge progression stopper issue, and Niantic had to disable it in order for players to not find that the game was broken. I think this was crazy because, first and foremost, this just speaks to just how much Niantic never really tests their product before they release it. This has been ongoing. Anytime Niantic releases something new, it always comes out broken. And I totally understand that when it comes to game design, issues and bugs are always going to persist. Sometimes you think something is working because internally it is actually working within your internal tests, but once it gets released to the public on the variety of different devices that players play on, yes, sometimes those bugs will come out in those cases. But I still feel like this is something that Niantic could have avoided if they actually hired some third-party testers, maybe if they utilized some of the resources that Scopely has, maybe they could have caught this bug before it was released. I really do not know what the case could be, but I think this is ridiculous because when it comes to Pokemon Go, for them to have this reputation of constantly breaking new things, it makes players just feel like Pokemon Go is run on spaghetti code, essentially, and I could totally understand that frustration. Anytime Niantic releases something new, it's meant to be incredibly exciting. It's meant to be something that is going to be really good for Pokemon Go and for Pokemon Go players, and players have a right to be excited about some of those new features. But anytime Niantic announces something new, anytime Niantic releases something great for Pokemon Go, it's always met with a lot of doubt. It's always met with a lot of people just having this feeling that it's going to be released broken or it's going to break something in Pokemon Go. And I really do think this is something Niantic needs to avoid. I've been saying this for the longest time, but something they should definitely invest into is a lot more testers, a lot more QA, a lot of things that will allow these sort of things to be released without issues and bugs. I mean, anytime they have some sort of special event, it always feels like those who live in the earliest time zones, like New Zealand and Australia, they have to deal with all of these various issues with those events, and Niantic is constantly making up these events for those places. And this really has to be a pattern that needs to stop, especially nowadays with Niantic doing a lot of really great things for Pokemon Go. It's never a good feeling when players are always suspecting that those new things are going to be broken. Like for example, with the new level cap that's going to be released this week. Like, there's going to be a lot of people who are probably going to experience issues. There's probably going to be something related to maybe the daily adventure egg, or maybe some of the leveling up rewards that they're not going to be properly given. I really do not know what the case may be, but there might be some issues, and I think a lot of players are just foreseeing that. And I really do think that is tragic, because I find myself always wanting to be really excited for Pokemon Go. This is a game that I enjoy playing every day. There are certainly times where I feel a lot of burnout. I'm certainly feeling some burnout right now. I do not necessarily feel excited about certain things. But with the new level cap, I do feel like I'm going to be spending a lot more time playing Pokemon Go. But I really do not want to come across these sort of issues, like the weekly challenges. I was actually really excited to try it out. I thought it would make some great content. I thought it would be something that would kind of revitalize my play with some of my friends. But because it was released broken and they disabled it, I was not able to do that. And I think that was very disappointing. So yeah, this is just some of the thoughts that I've had regarding this. I feel like this has been such a bad pattern with Pokemon Go for so long, and I also want to say I get it. Game development is not easy. As someone who has a history in game development, I did work in the game industry. I think a lot of people who watch my YouTube videos are well aware of that. I totally recognize it because I've seen it. I've experienced it from the developer point of view. There are certainly times where bugs will just show up and you had no idea that it would, or maybe it's because, you know, some players play the game differently from how you test the game. So essentially, there are bugs that are going to appear that you did not foresee. So I totally recognize all that. Maybe this was properly tested. Maybe this was something that they saw was bug-free before it was released. But upon release, it became a progression stopper. So a lot of players are frustrated by that. And of course, I'm sure Niantic is as well. So let's, as players, understand their side of things. I do think they could do a much better job, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, we should give them credit where credit is due. This was meant to be a really cool feature, and once they figure out these bugs, it will be a really good feature. And I do think it's going to be a great addition to Pokemon Go. Same with the level cap. If there are a lot of big bugs tomorrow, I do think players need to give them a little bit of grace, because if they were to fix a lot of those issues, I do think the new level cap and all the new things with the new leveling system is going to be amazing for Pokemon Go. It's definitely going to drive a lot more engagement, it's going to get players excited about the game once again, and there's certainly going to be a lot of positives. So yeah, at the end of the day, I just really hope Niantic gets their act together, maybe hire some more internal testers, maybe they should put a lot of resources into getting some third-party testers. I really do not know what the case may be, but they really do need to fix this pattern of constantly releasing broken stuff, because I think us as Pokemon Go players feel like at this point, they should have figured it out by now. The game is almost 10 years old. At this point, they need to be working out those bugs, making sure the game is bug-free, and all that sort of stuff. And certainly to agree, they have done a really good job in the past. I mean, yeah, we have a bad history of bugs and issues, but they fixed a lot of bugs and issues recently, and I think they deserve credit for that as well. So yeah. Anyway, these are just some of my thoughts and opinions regarding this. Once I heard that the weekly challenge thing was taken off because it was breaking a lot of people's games, I had a lot of thoughts, and I want to share it in this video. So I really hope you enjoyed this. If you had anything that you wanted to mention, make sure you say so in the comments down below. I think this is a pretty big issue. Maybe it's not a big issue. Maybe some of you just simply do not care. I don't know. But if you have any different opinions, make sure you share them in the comments, and yeah, let's have a great discussion. And thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if it's your first time here, and also don't forget that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload videos. And real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Jinsula channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. And if you decide to become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to personally add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. So that means for stuff like remote raids, the friendship system, opening and sending gifts, different things like that. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it in the description below. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you can do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see right now on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go there and give me a follow. And that'll be a huge help to my channel, and of course, you'll be able to keep up with my daily life, and you'll be able to get some exclusive content as well. So yeah. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today. Make sure you look in the mirror, tell yourself that you're awesome, because I think you're awesome, and I'll catch you all later.